So you've decided to get a Tesla Model Y, but you're not quite sure on all the options. Although Tesla is a pretty simple ordering process and there are very limited options to select, there's still quite a lot to consider. Hey, what's up guys? It's John Lee here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the ultimate Tesla Model Y buyer's guide to help you spec out your brand new 2021 Tesla Model Y. Now, the first and most obvious one is, do I get a long range or do I get the performance? The jump between the long range and the performance is $11,000. The long range all-wheel drive comes in at $49,990 USD, and the performance on the other hand comes in at $60,990. Now, the long range is going to get you 326 miles of rated range and a 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. More on that later. The performance model, on the other hand, is going to give you 303 miles of rated range and a 0 to 60 in a blisteringly fast 3.5 seconds. So obviously this is all up to personal preference on if you need or really desire to have the fastest Tesla Model Y available at 3.5 seconds. There's not a lot of cars on the road today that are faster than that. So it's going to be a very rare occasion that you're ever going to have an issue passing or being passed by somebody else. So if you're into the thrill and you have the money to spend, go ahead and get the performance. But just do note that although you get these really beautiful 21-inch wheels, it comes with the smallest sidewall I've ever seen on a production car. It's also going to come with a lower suspension, which is going to be a little bit more rough of a ride, but you're also going to get performance brakes. That suspension combined with those brakes and those super grippy tires that it has are going to give you fantastic performance straight out of the factory. So weigh these options carefully. I wouldn't be as concerned about the range because you're only giving up 23 miles of range. Now, I would take 23 miles more range any day of the week, of course. That is a lot, but you're not sacrificing too much to have that much more performance. Now, with that said, there is compromise to be had here. If you do get the long range all-wheel drive, after you take delivery, you do have the option to add an acceleration boost. The acceleration boost is $2,000 and it is going to reduce your 0 to 60 time from 4.8 seconds all the way down to 4.2 seconds. That is super fast. That is not as fast as the performance, and 7/10 of a second, that's a lot. So there's still a big difference between the performance and the long range all-wheel drive with the acceleration boost, but it is a lot closer to something to really think about, with $2,000 and 4.2 seconds get you close enough that you could save an additional $9,000 versus the performance. Completely up to you. So it wasn't that long ago that the standard range was still an option as well, and that's the car that I have. Link the video up here of me picking out my brand new 2021 Tesla Model Y, as well as video here of my 1 month review of my brand new 2021 Tesla Model Y. We only really saw it for several weeks before it went away. Altogether, the price dropped by 2,000 bucks, and then a couple of days later, it was gone forever. The standard range came in at $39,990 after a price drop. Now it gave you 244 miles of range in a 5.3 seconds 0 to 60 time. The standard range was actually a fantastic option for a lot of people, including myself. It was significantly less. It was $10,000 less than the long range model, and if you're not going to be doing long frequent highway commutes or road trips, it was a fantastic value. It was only a little bit more than the Model 3. At this point, thanks to another price increase on the Model 3, just the other day, it was only $2,000 more than the Model 3 Standard Range Plus. You get the full premium interior, you get the back seats that are heated, you get the premium sound system. The only thing is, it was really lacking was the second motor and having premium connectivity for a year for free. I mean, we only had it for a month, but big deal. It was only $9.99 a month. Oh, don't forget to mention, it did qualify for a lot of government rebates and provincial grants for EV cars. It just slid under MSRP price requirements to get that EV grant. So that was also a really great perk of the standard range Model Y. So hopefully the standard range does come back in some form very soon. My thought is they're waiting for the new car battery cells to give it enough range for Elon's standard of what he thinks is minimally acceptable range. So I think over 250 miles is what they're waiting for, and it might come back at that point. And now for the rest of you who are still kind of undecided on the fence, 4680 battery cells are coming. It is still going to be some time. At some point this year, Gigafactory Berlin should be open, and it is supposed to feature the very first Model Y with the brand new batteries. Elon Musk did state he's going to make it prove itself out for 18 to 24 months over there in Berlin before bringing it to the US and Canada, North America. Now, Elon Musk has a history of saying things and completely changing whatever it was he said multiple times, so take that comment with a grain of salt, will you? But I think we're still a year to 2 years out on these brand new battery cells, so between now and then is still a good time to buy. But do be aware, those battery cells are coming eventually. I think that there's still 2 years away personally, and once they do come out, the demand is going to be really strong, and it's going to take some time to get a delivery of a Model Y with the new battery cells. Now, when those battery cells do come out, we think we're going to have quite a bit more range, a better price, longer life on these batteries, and on and on. There's going to be a lot of benefits that come with those batteries, and we're very excited to see that. Alright, so enough talking about the different ranges of the Tesla Model Y. Now that you've selected long range or performance, you've got to pick a color, of course. The white is the standard color, and there's no additional charge for that. And if you add any of the other colors, you're going to pay $1,000 to $2,000 each. So you can upgrade the exterior to black midnight, silver metallic, deep blue, which is the option that I went for, or red. And those options are going to be $1,000. Now, if you go for the red, it's going to be $2,000. Now, just be aware, if you do go with the standard white, it is a very good white, and I like the color a lot. However, it's not a perfect match on the bumper. So if you're very nitpicky, just keep that in mind. You probably won't notice it though. Most of the time, that rear bumper mismatch used to be really bad, and Tesla has made a lot of progress, and it is now on an acceptable level in my opinion. So if that would bother you, or you really like those other colors, like myself, I really love the deep blue metallic, just splurge, spend the extra $1,000 and get the color you really want. And if it's red, spend the extra $2,000. Again, I'm really happy I decided to take that plunge and go for the blue, because between me and you, there are so many white Teslas out there, and it's kind of basic, like really basic. So, you know, just a thought. Alright, so now it's time to select the wheels after you pick the color, and you have two options. The car comes standard with these 19-inch Gemini wheels, and they are a hubcap over an aluminum wheel, which is not terrible. It looks really sexy and nice. It gives you that flexibility of having a couple different looks. The hubcaps are meant to help with the range on the highways. They're more aerodynamic, but you can remove those. I've seen plenty of people powder coat the wheels black, and they look sick. They look absolutely pretty and gorgeous. They also come with a Continental all-season tire, which is going to perform better if you're in a snowy region. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be substantially better than the tires that come on the induction wheel. Now, the induction wheels are $2,000, and they look stunning. I love the induction wheels. I think they look fantastic. They match all the trims very well and is a great look. With that said, you're sacrificing sidewall size, and you're going to have worse performance if you live in a snowy region. Now, when the pavement is dry, there's no issues at all. It actually has a pretty good grip. Add any inclement weather, rain, snow, a little drizzle, and those tires are just not up to the task. So depending on your region and where you live, you may want to consider passing on the induction wheels. And in my personal opinion, regardless of where you live, I recommend passing on those induction wheels, and here's why. If you get the Gemini wheels standard on the car, you can get either any aftermarket option out there or take off a set of induction wheels on eBay. Now the price fluctuates, and I do keep an eye on these things over time, and I've generally seen $2,000 to $2,500 would get you a set of wheels with the tires on them. However, right now there's very limited options and none of them have the tires, so you're only getting the rims, and this could end up being more expensive than getting the induction wheels straight from factory. But the thing is, by saving that $2,000, you can apply that then towards an aftermarket set or those take-off induction wheels. Now you have, for a little bit more investment than $2,000, you have 2 sets of wheels, you have a summer set of wheels, you have a winter set of wheels, if that is appropriate for your region. Otherwise, you've got a set of wheels for when you go on road trips that should be a little bit more efficient. Then you have a set of wheels for around town, completely up to you, but I highly recommend getting the Gemini wheels and then get a second set of wheels and tires for the other seasons. Now, the next option that you have is a hitch. This hitch is $1,000, and don't worry, you can order this after the fact and it'll be installed at your local service center, but if you do this, it'll be $1,200 after the fact. So it's gonna be $200 more if you wait to do this later. Here's my recommendations on the hitch. If you're going to be towing anything like a trailer, pulling anything behind the vehicle, I highly recommend spending the $1,000 and getting the Tesla trailer hitch. The reason is that you're going to get tow mode and you're not gonna have issues with warranty down the road. If you are not planning on towing anything, save yourself quite a bit of money and get one of those aftermarket options for about $300, $400. There are a number of options out there that are perfect for this application. If you're going to be mounting bikes to the back or maybe a cargo carrier, that is a much more reasonable approach. You can do this on your own. It's not that hard to install these things, but there are also local providers that can install these for you as well. All right, so now my favorite part of the setting up your car is you have 2 options for the interior, of course. The standard black interior for $1,000, you can upgrade to the partially white interior. This white interior looks absolutely amazing, and I totally get this. It is personal preference, so if you don't like the white, it doesn't matter, just get the black. But if you like the white as much as I do, here's what I'm going to say. I chose the black interior because I was really worried about the white interior holding up. However, I've seen countless people share updates on the white interior, and I've yet to see anybody that has ever had any problems maintaining the white interior. And me, on the other hand, I'm very jealous. I wish I would have done it on my Tesla Model Y when I got it, but again, I was just not too sure, what if I splashed my car or this and that, or, stains from fabric. Just wasn't too comfortable taking that risk, but who knows, maybe on my next Tesla, I'll be getting the white interior because I personally think it looks amazing. If you like white interior, I say go for it, spend the extra $1,000. Even if it's the only option you add, you get that white interior first. I think it looks amazing. Okay, and for the next option, you can have either a 5-seat interior or a 7-seat interior. The 7-seat interior is $3,000, and you can only add up to the long range all-wheel drive option and the standard range as well when it was available. You cannot add a 7-seat configuration to the performance model. It is very tight back there. I mean, it is doable for a lot of applications, and for $3,000 to have the flexibility, it's kind of nice. Don't kid yourself, you're not going to be able to fit large adults in the back of the car. I'm only 5'7", and I would not feel comfortable sitting back there. And the reason isn't because I couldn't fit back there, but it's to fit back there. My head was right against the glass, and then there's this large trim piece right at my forehead. If you've watched any reviews about the Model Y, you know it's not the most plush ride on the road. So bumps and things like that, they're gonna throw that person in the backseat up a little bit forward or a little bit around, a little bit back, and they're already that close to the glass and the trim. They're going to make contact several times. So as long as your intent is for small children in the back, I think you should go for it. You shouldn't have any issues. And finally, it's the most controversial option at Tesla, and that, of course, is the full self-driving. For only $10,000, you're going to get navigate on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, summon, traffic light and stop sign control, and then later they'll be coming with auto steer on city streets. So here's the thing, I personally took the plunge. I do have the full self-driving option, and I had the option at $10,000. I still say it's completely worth it. This is my personal opinion. If you are on the highway frequently, you may want to consider it. It is a very large investment though, and keep that in mind. When you pay that $10,000, you're going to have limited features at this time. You're still going to have to drive the car like normal. You can engage autopilot, it can change lanes on the highway for you, but it is a limited suite of features at this point in time. Now there's a lot going on with the beta program, and they're working on expanding on those options that are currently functioning. So this suite of features is continuing to expand, and that will eventually be available. But this has always been the crux with the full self-driving feature. When will it be available? I hope that it will be available sometime this year, but we're yet to see that happen. There is a lot of progress being made. Make your own decision on this. Don't let anybody else influence your decision on the full self-driving. Okay, so you've made your final decision and you know that you're going to get there. There you have it. This is my buyer's guide to the 2021 brand new Tesla Model Y. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, give it a thumbs up, a big thumbs up. It really helps this channel out. And if you haven't already, of course, welcome. Please subscribe to this channel, as I continuously to post content regularly about Tesla, about finance, about investing, about entrepreneurship, about life, real estate, all good things. Thanks so much for joining me, and as always, I will see you next time.